They're constantly being demasculated by their size or how much money they make. And it's done to them by the women of their own culture.
Not enough eligible black males who fit the needs of black women.
Rule number one is the foundation to lure an athlete with a pick-me mindset.
Here, I was talking to my teammate and I was like, bro, where are all the black women at? You're never going to find one.
I happen to encounter a white woman who is maybe less guarded, more emotionally affirming.
Years on draft day, you'll be a millionaire, and all your friends will work hard in school to literally never live the life you live.
Black men in the comment section that do not see a problem with that text thread. I think it's important that we have the larger conversation about how the NBA and the NFL are just modern day plantations. Woman telling another white woman how she can bag an NFL or an NBA player, specifically a black woman. She said chocolate. And the reason why I want us to see these text messages is not for black women to put their capes on and go help. Absolutely not. But I want us to understand where black men's thought process currently is if we're going to, I don't know, work alongside them and move forward in liberation. And I say that facetiously because I already know what it is. But I think it's important that we have the larger conversation about how the NBA and the NFL are just modern day plantations. And I will be following that up with a clip from Deontay Kyle.
So move forward in liberation. How? Because moving forward in liberation is being free from you, actually, right? But because who are you? I understand what happened. It's crazy. The fact that these ladies are conspiring to get black men, but think about how they're conspiring, right? How can they do that? You got to ask yourself that question. Why is this happening? Why is it so easy?
Because I believe that he explained that perfectly.
Starts the thread off with, I want a football player, NFL preferably, a tall chocolate one, like you did. I want your life. That's easy, but you have to play your cards right. You can't be an emotional little girl. And she says, teach me. Number one, he's the prize. Remember, he can change your life. You can't change his. Number two, dealing with cheating. Don't look for it. Girls will throw themselves at him and some will succeed. If it's just a fling, let it go. But don't let him get emotionally attached to one of them. P.S. He'll always be attracted to black girls. Activate that Shanae in her by picking at her and let him see it, and then he'll ditch her. Then she says, if she's like us, it'll be harder because more.
You notice she said activate that Shanae in her. Why does she choose Shanae? It's quite funny, but this is not a laughing matter, especially for you, right? Because a lot of you have a Shanae deep inside. You remember Martin Shanae when Shanae start flipping out and moving his head like that?
More than likely she's playing to win him too. Make him choose. Number three, be an asset. Fold his clothes, buy and bring him his food, do his homework, completely integrate yourself into his life where he can't function without you.
You know, she said do his homework. These are what white girls do, right? But I'm going to get into more why.
4, don't embarrass him. Don't cheat. Don't text other men. His cute friends and teammates will try you, but ignore it. Just in case the relationship goes south, another athlete will see you as gold. 5, completely go wild on him in bed. Use throat spray. Do any and everything. Be spontaneous. Make it go down anytime, anywhere. Number 6, his mom. Lexi, do not tell his mom any personal information, especially something negative. She will tell his entire family and he'll blame you. Just smile, wave, and be quiet. 7, always look good and appealing. Hair and face always has to be done. Push for marriage or at least to have multiple kids, and you got him. In 2 years on draft day, you'll be a millionaire, and all your friends will work hard in school to literally never live the life you live. It's so sweet and rewarding, Lex. I'm in Cancun right now.
And what's so scary is that there are black men in the comment section that do not see a problem with that text thread. They don't see a problem at all. They're actually looking for a woman to do that for them. They're not even understanding that that is emotional, mental, physical, sexual manipulation.
All right. So manipulation. Why are men okay with being manipulated? You ladies have to think about that, right? I wouldn't be cool with that. But you know what? If You ladies always want a man that's the prize, right? But the reason why you're not beating them before they become the prize is because you're not willing to deal with a man before he becomes the prize, right? She's saying do his homework. And the wild thing, she said use throat spray. You know that throat spray that numbs the throat? So you can take deep strokes in the throat? These girls are nuts. But they're willing to do this. And they're willing to do what most of you won't do.
Start talking about it. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly why white women have it so easy when it comes to bagging black athletes. Now, for a lot of black men who grew up in homes and environments where strength, discipline, hyper responsibility, hyper awareness, emotional suppression are all tied to survival, for a lot of black men, they equate those things to the black life, which in turn makes them psychologically associate those things to pressure and vigilance. Not just culturally black now, but the conditions that surround their upbringings. When they happen to encounter a white woman who is maybe less guarded, more emotionally affirming, less of a struggle, less of a pull and tug, right? For a lot of black men, that white woman can be like the relief, right? A lot of those things that those white women may be are not connected to the survival dynamics they needed in order to survive, right? Not because she's white in herself, right? But because she represents things that aren't emotionally attached to a lot of black men's upbringing. A lot of white women approach black men, specifically black athletes in this case, with less cultural familiarity, right? Which makes them seem more open-minded and less critical of them. Sometimes it could be genuine attraction. Sometimes it can be idealization. Sometimes it could be fetishization. Or it can be all three overlapping. There's another flip side to this, right? A lot of black men are also guilty of either unintentionally or intentionally romanticizing whiteness as some form of emotional safety. Being guilty of overlooking the fact that every cultural group, every ethnic group on this green earth has their own societal pressures, has their own dysfunctions, and has their own traumas. Now, relationship to that white woman for a black man can temporarily feel like an escape from an identity crisis without having to assess and address the emotional wounds that are associated to his blackness.
And that's why I think you're wrong, right? Because, yes, of course, hearing a girl say that, or hearing a girl do that, or not knowing if a girl plays a long game. So guys have to be careful with that. A lot of men don't care, but you do have to be careful. They do it everywhere. They even do it overseas. They do it in Thailand. They do it in the Philippines. They do it in Colombia. But why is it so successful? Ask yourself that, ladies, because it's happening with athletes. But why are men, like the men you should be building with? This is the problem. They're not willing to build with a man. And I'm going to get into that later because some Spanish girls, they say, yeah, of course, you need to work, but you have to find that medium. It's not with all black women, but most just can't find that medium.
Possible to date a black woman, and the reasoning is very simple. Y'all are overthinking it. As you can see, these are my qualifications. I remember when I first got here, I was talking to my teammate, and I was like, bro, where are all the black women at? And he's like, oh, like, you looking to date one? I was like, yeah, I guess. And he was like, you're never going to find one. And he explained to me what I'm about to explain to you. You do remember what the PW and PWI stand for, right? These schools are at least 60% white and around 6% black. So let's say you had 50,000 people at your school. That would make 3,000 of them black, and half those probably men. So 1,500 black women go to your school. You're never going to meet at least half of them, like just never going to see them, okay? So that's 750 black women that go to your school that you might meet. Now, mind you, if you do the same math with white women, there's 7,500 white women, okay? So let's say you just happen to romantically get involved with one for any period of time. Could be a one-night stand, could be anything. How many black women are okay with dating a man who's messed with white women before? Not
See, now you see what he explained? There's more white females there. So imagine the white females. Now, you see how this girl shared this information? It seems wild, but it makes it seem like white girls are conniving and planning this. They're not. This is just how they are. What you saw was crazy. What that lady said, it was nuts. But this is what they do naturally. So that girl explaining herself, that's something they would naturally do. Like, look at the brother Jalen Brunson. I shot him out because he just won a chip. He stayed with his girl is because she's like that naturally. Learn something.
As much as you like, okay? So that takes off about 250, okay? So now we're at 500. I know what you're thinking, Bryce, but what if I never mess with a white woman? If you're a college athlete, because of this stigma, they will assume that you did and not mess with you anyway. Oh yeah, and speaking of stigma, there's that narrative where it's college athletes are dirty and they just sleep around all the time. So probably about 100 of them are gonna think you're the Human Torch and not want to touch you, okay? That's 400. Oh yeah, and another 100 probably think you're unintelligent, and that's of course not a desirable quality. And then another 100 don't want to deal with the attention that you'd probably get from other women, regardless of whether or not you're dating. That's 200. I know a lot of people feel like college athletes have their pick of the litter, and it's like they do, but they don't. Let's take that 200 and be real generous and say you're not compatible with only half of them, okay? So you have 100 left. And let's be even more generous and say that 25 of those aren't attracted to you and 25 of them you aren't attracted to. 50. And I guarantee you that 50 is at most 6 friend groups. And hold up, my bad. At least 10 of those are probably in relationships already. So never mind, you got 40. I'm telling you, the thing about those friend groups, word travels fast, okay? So you have a negative interaction with, say 2 of those 40, okay? You're probably cutting off at least 20 of those. And of that 20, you probably have 5, because I guarantee you they told their friends that they're into you, so you're already claimed, okay? You can't get any of the other friends. So there's a total of 5 black women, and again, this is me being generous, that you could possibly date on your campus. And mind you, these thousands of white women are throwing themselves on you. They are very deliberate in positioning themselves for you, okay? Remember, a lot of these people probably never even seen a black guy before. As a college athlete, the only way you can avoid ever being romantically involved with a white woman is if you purposefully avoid it. And if someone genuinely doesn't discriminate, that's not really fair to ask of them, is it? And the thing is, this is not just a black athlete thing. Like, this is a black guy PWI thing. The only reason y'all so focused on these athletes is because you see them everywhere. All these narratives y'all trying to push where it's like, oh, he hates himself, or oh, white women are just more dateable for the college athlete. No, it's BS. It's literally just a numbers game that white women are going to win every time. And it is not a suburb versus hood thing, okay? I know dudes from the hood, they got to college, instantly became milkmen. I know guys from the suburbs who they have not touched a white woman since they got here. I can't believe y'all really care about this. Like, one of my former teammates got drafted in the first round the other night, all right? Best day of his life for like him and his family, great. But all y'all can talk about is, oh, well, why you got that white woman there? Why you got that white woman there? If y'all don't shut up and make some drums, like, y'all getting the mew of shame. Y'all need to really like look inwards and see why you care so much about these things. Like,
Yeah. They won't look inward though. This will continue to happen. They'll continue to shout it to the mountaintops. It's wild because I just made a video kind of the same yesterday. This is a non-stop thing. It's not going to stop happening. But what happens is he just explained it. Most of you, say if you're with a man like that, you see what she said? You have to understand those things are just flings. It takes a lot to deal with an athlete. And what do you ladies say? No man gonna cheat on me. So no man gonna cheat on me. Have it by yourself.
Exposed for allegedly coaching each other on how to lock down professional black athletes after some leaked texts went viral. So let's see what this is about. So rule number 1 is the foundation to lure an athlete with a pick-me mindset. He's the prize. Remember, he can change your life. You can't change his. Rule number 2, dealing with cheating. Don't look for it. If it's just a fling, let it go. He's the prize. Remember, he can change your life. You can't change his. Rule number 3, completely integrate yourself in his life to where he can't function without you.
You know what's funny? Before, when I got married to my wife, right? Do you know her father told her the same thing? Her father told her the same thing. This is not conniving information. It seems conniving because it's on the internet. This is the advice females get on how to keep a husband. Not the cheating part, but this part, don't let the man be able to function without you. It should always be like that. And as a man, you can't have the female function without you. That's why the man has to be the leader. And this next brother is going to explain it, but I know it's going to seem harsh from because of who the person is delivering the message. But what he says is right, and it's wild because he has a host of black people listening to him. I'm surprised he was able to do that. This must have been a couple of years ago. I don't know when this was.
Have pictures of herself all over the internet being a thought. She'll go pursue a career. She'll do a bunch of twerking stuff on the internet. She'll wear weird weaves. She'll do all this kind of crazy stuff, right?
Oh, no, I think they're just reacting to him.
And what'll happen is she'll do all this, not knowing that, like, men, though they might look at you from an attraction standpoint, they're not actually wanting to take you seriously. And this is what I mean when I say women lack empathy. They kind of know what men like, but they don't know what men are actually attracted to and want to commit to. And that's where the disconnect happens. So what's up happening is they get with a guy, they know how to kind of get the guy just by existing, but it's very difficult for them to keep the guy. And this comes from
So you heard what he just explained? He just explained what the lady told the other lady when he goes out. He will deal with black females. She told the girl to shame him. Right? Because she's going to turn into who? Shanae.
this lack of training where women are prioritizing career and not necessarily not just attracting the guy, but keeping him long term. And this is where so many women fail, because any girl can get a guy. That's not the hard part. The hard part is, can you get a guy that you actually like and get him to commit to you? And this is where women fail because they lack empathy. And what I mean by empathy is they don't understand men. We have to understand women to attract them. Women don't have to understand us to attract us, because all y'all got to do is be available, look kind of hot, and we'll come talk to you. Like, and we have to do all the work in the beginning. Well, but where women fail is they don't do the work after the guy puts in the work to attract her to retain that guy. That's where a lot of women make the mistake and aren't really able to keep the things. And this is why I'm saying, like, the education system and us women prioritizing their success has overrode their ability to retain men, if that makes sense.
That women are having, black women in particular, when it becomes to becoming a wife.
Keeping it 100,
Yes.
there's not enough eligible black males who fit the needs of black women.
It's delusional.
By the time you dissect the demographics of finances, sexual orientation, what you end up drilling down into, because black women tend to want to marry black men.
Right, right.
So black women are excelling. They're getting accelerated degrees, graduate degrees, doctorate degrees. They're starting businesses. Black women are running circles around men.
Right.
And it's also shown in research that women want to marry on their same level of financial and educational status.
Yeah.
So if you're a black woman making $150,000 a year with a master's degree, you tend to want to marry a black man on that same level or higher. If black women are excelling at such an accelerated rate, how do men keep up with that?
I think, yes, we do know that black women are killing it. She did kind of define what she means by eligible, but she wasn't very, I think that eligible for some women is their definition is a little bit, and you can they'll be like, oh, but he doesn't have to have this, and then it's like, nah, you're lying. That's not actually what you, because this is a good dude. You just don't, he doesn't have, he's not six whatever, he doesn't make X amount of money or whatever the case is. And so they feel some type of way about that.
And what the brother is explaining is over and beyond. They want to be the princess in everyone's life, right? And sometimes they don't necessarily care if it's your life. And what's happening is, and what do I mean by that, right? Especially the ones, and everybody does, they watch the social media or they watch what's happening from their favorite stars. And how do we know they do that? Because they always quote it in videos. You guys see it every day. Oh, well, you know, this person, like, who cares what that person is doing? The reason was keeping you single is your friends. And what this person did, my mama said to focus on school and don't worry about these mans, because the whole thing that we're focused on is why are they not getting the athletes, right? Because that there is the goal they want to hit. So they're going to college. Say, for instance, if a Duke athlete gets with a white woman, right? He goes to play in the NFL for the Cleveland Browns. There was black females in the school. She was told, focus on what you're doing. So then what happens? And you know, not everyone becomes successful. Females are going to college nowadays, getting out, and can't find a job. So now what's going to happen? Now you're forced to look to that man. He may be what 6 feet, but he makes 50,000. You're forced to look to that man. But you know what? Still, that man may be invested in S&P 500 and have bread right now. Say if he's 30 something years old, he probably has at least 750,000 waiting for him when he retires. By the time he's 40, he has a couple million or 1 or 2 million. A lot of ladies don't realize they're missing their shot. Now, ladies, if you're listening, there's men out there that are making bread right now, have bread waiting on them, and you're missing your shot.
The first time I said go to the women who are getting a better outcome, and you said no. They are checking for us. That's why y'all are dying alone.
So, is it really what you call it? SV? So what you call it?
SMV?
Is it really an SMV or is it an attitude adjustment?
No, both. Your SMV, men are visual. Your sexual marketplace value is the thing that we look at first. And then after we like that, then we'll see if we want to tolerate you longer than a night. See, what black women are doing right now will get you a lot of sex. Y'all got no problem becoming hot girl summer and hooking up and swiping left. What you got problems with is long-term relationships. And that's a matter of who you are after the bedroom.
That's true.
So why don't you go ask the women who can keep men? Why don't you go ask the women who can get husbands? Because if it's not in our community, you go to the people who making better grades, right? If you're in your school or your group and everybody's failing, and right over there, they're passing or doing twice as good, do you keep going to people over here or do you go and ask people who are doing better?
You heard what this man said? Think about it. I'm gonna break it down in simple terms. You see what that white female was saying on how to get a man? If you take his advice, what are black females to do? Listen to that same advice that she said. That means don't be Shanae. Say, for instance, all right, you get him late, right? And then that man goes to that female. I'm just throwing something out there, scenario. Say she cheats, but then you get this attitude, right? You turn it to Shanae. Or I'll say one better than that because that's second scenario. First scenario, which is the one you want, you meet him in college. Because all of you ladies are going, you're getting degrees. It's not working anymore. So now, when you're in college, start searching out that man. It's wild because these white females, before they graduate, they find that man. It's not an NBA. It's not a NBA or NFL player all the time. You know what they're saying? Oh, my man is going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a dentist. You see that all the time. We're married. 11th grade. Not 11th grade. Third year of college. We're about to get married. Or he's out already. I met him in my sophomore year. He graduated already. He's about to become a doctor. He's doing his residency right now.
The reasonable thing would be to go ask somebody who's doing better.
Why do you need to put the modifier there?
Because I have my own opinion. I hear what you're saying, but I hear
and that's my point. Folks, I just want you to understand. That's why I want my critics and detractors to understand. It's not a matter of information. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right is the primary motivating factor for most black women. They need to be right in all ways. So it doesn't matter if you can point them to what's right and what's better. I'm going to be all right doing it my way. That's why I'm going to wait for Jesus or God or somebody else.
Kevin, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I Well, agree to disagree. We have a difference
No,
in
there's no agree to
opinion.
disagree. Agree to disagree, but here's the problem:
Uh-huh.
black women are failing at getting husbands.
That is the
So there's no
problem.
agree to disagree. There's no agree to disagree. You're dying alone.
So look what just happened. You had a female said, "Look what these black women are doing. It's wrong. Our black people, what did she say? Need to experience freedom." She tried to bring us back 300 years. These slave masters are taking our men. We have to stop that. That's all she could do. She did the same thing that he's talking about this lady did, right? The same thing this female is doing. Now, if you guys go back and watch that video, you're going to say, yeah, she sure did. She did the same thing she did. Took us back.
Like, is everything okay at home? Like, y'all took this post and just started bashing big women. All I said was it was some nice looking men there. And that to the plus size women who think they can't get a man, they can. Y'all basically just saying, I never.
I got to pause real quick. And Kevin Samuel said over 70% of black females were overweight or obese. I've never seen a rich CEO, president, business owner with a plus size female, most pro athletes. Yeah. Let me let her continue though.
See a 7-figure
She's
man.
overweight.
Oh my gosh, calm down. Like, y'all take everything and dig deep in it and research it and do weird stuff with it. It just was a post saying, I don't even know what I was saying no more because I think we have lost the plot. Like, oh my God, like, I feel like if you don't even like big women, this attract you. You shouldn't even comment on it because what the hell? Jesus Christ. And y'all start talking about fetishes and they're only there for a fetish. They're only there to have. Okay, oh my God, like, just some men are just attracted to big women. What the hell? Like, we have sadly lost the plot.
You're masculine and you're not going to have a man you really want. You are what you attract. You can't be like, oh, you have to act feminine. Yeah, because we were brought up to be tough and to be independent and not codependent on a man. Yeah. So that what does that balance masculine? Where we are not feminine enough to keep a man. It's quite attractive for a woman to be independent and have her own life and can, in a relationship, do that and be in the relationship as well. Yeah, I just think it's about balancing energies out because a lot of men have feminine energy as well. And you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, that's gay. But then women want men to have the emotional side to them, which is like feminine. So you can't have things both ways. Yeah.
No, what I think she got confused because the one lady said it and she hit on something and didn't realize it is that you have to have balance, right? Because not every situation is going to be the man that's an NBA player, NFL player, right? There's going to be men out there with regular jobs, but then they still want feminine females. You understand? So what's going on? Think about it. What's there to do if most females are not feminine? This is why men are going to their countries, right? Because these ladies are talking, I don't know where they're from. But if you're not going to perform in the way a man feels you should, right? He's gonna go get your cousin. He's gonna go get your cousin from Ecuador or from Colombia, wherever you ladies from. The other one looks like she'll be somewhere in Asia. He's gonna go get your cousin. And she's gonna say, "Hi, Isabella. I got me a black man."
Undervalued, disrespected men of our time. Not only do they have to deal with racial profiling, they have to live and work in a system that was created for them to fail. They're constantly being demasculated by their size, or how much money they make. And it's done to them by the women of their own culture. We're the only women that will publicly humiliate a man based on the size of his anatomy and his finances. Only 15% of Americans are making over $100,000 a year. If you meet a man that's not physically or mentally abusive and has beat the system, he's already successful. If you feel like that you're lowering your standards based on how much a man makes, then you just don't need a man.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.